I'm Dr. Angela McBurdy of DoctorFlute.com, and today's flute tip is on vibrato pet peeves. Vibrato is a funny thing, and we all do it differently. And that's great because that's what gives us lots of different colors and different sounds. And everybody playing the Mozart concerto, we can all sound a little bit differently because our sound is different, our vibrato is different, the colors we use are different. And that's wonderful. It makes the world go round. So here's the biggest vibrato pet peeve. And that is in a group of notes, whether they're slow 16ths or slow 8th notes, there's a vibrato, there's no vibrato on 1, vibrato on 2, no vibrato on 3, vibrato on 4. I'll show you what that is. I hear it time and time and time again. Analyze yourself and see if you do that. So right through there, maybe I exaggerated just a little bit to show you, but if I didn't, you might not pick up on that. But it's the one where there's more weight on it, there's less vibrato, and the second one gets to have it, and the third one doesn't, and the fourth one does. I had a teacher that brought that to my attention a long time ago, and here I am at the age I am now, which I'm not going to say, and I'm still thinking about that and making sure that I don't do that. And sometimes I realize, man, I was doing that. Play through some of these slow pieces that you have and think about all your notes. Are you putting vibrato on everything? And if you're not, did you have a real reason? As I talk to my students about that, I ask them, if you have a real reason and you decided intellectually, I do not want vibrato on that note, then I'm with you. Convince me that that's the way you want to play, and I'm good with that. But most of the time, I have no clue I was doing that. And so they don't even know that that's going on. And I understand that because unless you're really listening to yourself, you don't hear that. I could play this lots of times and not even hear that. Some people have the opposite problem. So it's 2 and 4 that don't have vibrato. Are you a 2 and 4 person, or are you a 1 and 3 person? Figure that out. Learn what it takes to listen to every note that you play and decide, are you putting vibrato on? And if not, was it a conscious decision? And if you didn't know, then obviously it wasn't a conscious decision. Because I think it sounds more consistent, and you're keeping every note the same. There's not this anomaly note that doesn't have any vibrato. Now I'll put it on all. So I was really conscious and making sure that I was doing that. At some later date, maybe I want to change vibrato a little bit because it is Mozart and that isn't quite the vibrato that I want to use. Well, fine. It's still, again, a conscious choice. Now, something else that is a vibrato problem, and that is ending the vibrato as you taper. Let's see. Will this be, I guess this can work here. Okay, so I took a breath in the wrong spot. I know that. But I didn't think I was going to have enough air to show you. So I ended with this. And I want to have vibrato all the way to the end. Instead of I taper and I stop the vibrato. I hear that so many times. I think that probably a better demonstration is one, which I don't see in front of me present, where it's a longer taper and you're tapering your jaw and closing it off, and the vibrato just ends. We need to keep the vibrato going all the way to the end. Maybe the tip of it, the very, very tip of that taper, the vibrato stops as you go through there. But use vibrato all the way through. Now, there are definitely pieces I play, perhaps syrinx, perhaps pieces written in the 21st century, where I feel that vibrato at the very end, last note of the piece, isn't appropriate because it's, I don't know, it's the style of whatever it is I'm working on. And then I don't have vibrato. Well, that is also because it's a conscious decision, not a decision based on the fact that you had no idea what was going on. That's just happened. So even if in the end you've decided, well, I do like having no vibrato, make sure it's because you know what you're doing and you've decided to not use vibrato. And the third pet peeve I'm just going to talk about today is the vibrato that never stops. So a vibrato that you don't control and that never changes. We want vibrato that we're in total control of. So if I do a Baroque, I can't think of it, but I'll just do a Baroque sound. Very woody, back vibrato, kind of not real present vibrato. I want a nice big hollow sound, and I don't want a real present vibrato. Now, if you have the vibrato that kind of is that, I don't want to use machine gun because I've used that in a negative, derogatory way. Not all vibrato that is really fast, that could be machine gun, is bad. So I won't say that whole genre of vibrato is not the kind that you want. But generally, students that come to me with a really fast vibrato that's very present, they have absolutely no control over it. And if you can't control it, how can you change the color of the piece with your vibrato, such as Daphnis and Chloe, the orchestral solo that we all know and love, and Afternoon of a Faun by Debussy. When you do that, vibrato has to be part of the color of what you're playing. It has to change, it has to mold, it has to grow. And if your vibrato stays at that fast present level, then everything you play is going to basically sound the same. So work at, if that's your vibrato, you can practice just long tones is really the best way to do it, and vary the speeds. Learn how to vary the speeds. If you've never done that, it's a discipline, and you can discipline yourself to do that. Slow it down, speed it up. I want to be able to maneuver my vibrato in any way I see fit. Fast here, slow here, none here. I need to have all those tools of vibrato in my tool bucket so that I can use them for the pieces that I'm performing. So check that out. And if you have a vibrato that, yep, I don't ever change it, then start working at changing it. Start working at slowing it down, or if it's too slow, and speeding it up. But really being able to manipulate it so that it can be used in the solos to create the colors that you're looking for. Vibrato pet peeves, that's today's flute tip. If you like today's flute tip, press the like button, subscribe, comment below, and share it with your friends.